Hello again, and welcome to the second module of the ADCMT for 2018. I realise I forgot to introduce myself the first time round. My name's Andrew Errington. I'm the Academic Dean of Vet Training here at St Mark's. I've only been here for a couple of months, and I'm one of the trainers for the ADCMT. A little bit more about me will help introduce this second module, which is called Intentional Pastoral Practice. Before I came to St Mark's, I was doing a PhD in Scotland, but before that, I was an assistant minister in an Anglican church for a number of years in pastoral ministry. And a little before that, I was a stipendiary lay worker, helping to start an evening congregation. In the course of that pastoral ministry, without doubt for me, the greatest joy has been the conversations I've got to have with people. Time and again, I've had the chance to sit with people and talk to them about important things, the things of faith, things in their lives. Sometimes they're hard things for people. Sometimes they're very difficult aspects of their lives. Sometimes they're just about their journey in faith. But these conversations have been the best bit about this job. Also the hardest bit, but before we remember they're the hardest bit, I want to remember they're also the best bit. Let me give you one of my favourite stories. In the church I was at, there was a young woman who'd been becoming part of the church, who'd been making friends and coming along and making her way towards Christian faith. I hadn't had that much to do with her other than saying hello on Sundays, but she'd asked to meet up with me. Well, and it's the kind of thing people do. They ask to meet up with the minister to talk about something in particular. Well, as we talked, she got to the point of saying what she wanted to talk about. And what she wanted to talk about was, she said, that she just didn't understand this thing that everybody kept talking about, grace. What did grace mean? Well, I couldn't believe it. It was such a great question. I mean, it's such a gift of a question for me. And so I just started talking about things I knew from the Bible and things about God. And to be honest, I made a bit of a hash of it until I stumbled upon saying something about a gift. And she stopped me and said, "Oh, so you mean it's grace just means it's a gift?" And I said, yes, that's exactly. I couldn't believe how how much I'd missed her question. But I said, yes, that's exactly right. Grace is just a gift. And she got it. And tears came to her eyes and probably to mine. And it wasn't long after that she had given her life to Christ and become a wonderful part of our church. Those moments are the thing I have cherished as I've gone on. I haven't really remembered sermons I've preached or church programs, but I remember the conversations. But of course, that kind of intensity and focus in relationships and conversations brings with it real challenges and risks. The point of this unit, Intentional Pastoral Practice, is to equip you to be more prepared for engaging in those kinds of moments and relationships. They are a big part of what it is to be an ordained Anglican minister, and we need to get better at doing them. There's two main aspects of this course. One is about learning skills and thinking more carefully about how to be intentional in our pastoral practice. How to reflect on our own practice, how to understand our own presence and have a kind of awareness of the part we play in the situation. To that end, at the intensives, we're going to do a number of what we call verbatims, which means basically a record of conversations that we're then able to look at carefully and reflect on and think about what could have been done, what could have been done differently. The second aspect of the course is some teaching and reflection on the practice of professional supervision. You may have had experience of professional supervision almost by accident. I did. In my first lay stipendiary job, I engaged an external supervisor without knowing that's what I was doing. What I did was I contacted a person I knew and trusted from another church in another denomination who didn't have direct responsibility for me. He wasn't my boss. He was a kind of older, more experienced practitioner. And I met with him regularly throughout my time and discussed my work and the difficulties in various relationships. And that relationship was very valuable to me and to my work. Well, that, in a nutshell, is what professional supervision is about. But of course, you can do it in better or worse ways. And proper professional supervision involves doing that kind of relationship in a really intentional and careful way, setting up that relationship in the right way, and then being very deliberate about how it gets conducted. Increasingly, it's been shown that this is a very important practice that needs to come into pastoral ministry more centrally. It's already a practice that's standard in a number of clinical professions, we think, and many people think, that it ought to be a regular part of Christian ministry practice. So we're going to introduce you to the practice of supervision, partly by getting you as part of the assessment. There's some discussion about that depending on which cohort you're in, but as part of the assessment, to be supervised and to engage in a supervision relationship. So that's the aim, to become better pastoral carers. There's lots of great stuff in the learning resources, lots of interesting readings. We hope this unit is a real joy and a really important part of your training towards Anglican ministry. Look forward to doing it with you.